Today is a really tough day. I've really struggled whether or not I would record anything. I've put everything away several times. I have just been feeling this sense of dread, this sense of hopelessness, pointlessness, of feeling as though something, oh, here's our crow, something big is about to happen. And regardless of people having an awareness of it in advance or not, it's going to unfold as it's going to unfold. And it's really challenging to share things like that because that, to me, is not helpful. How is that helpful? How is that helpful to instill fear in people? How is that helpful to rage bait people? How is it helpful to acknowledge what everyone is feeling and have nothing to really offer to alleviate that anxiety, that stress, that dread? It feels incredibly unhelpful, and yet here I am recording this because I tried to not do it, and I just felt pulled back out here to share. Hi and welcome back. It's August the 5th, 2026. I'm sure you feel it, this sense of dread. You can't look anywhere without seeing some kind of catastrophe, some kind of struggle or loss of something or the threat of losing something. Under this constant state of pressure, in a pressure cooker that has long been overdue to burst. It feels like that. And when you are extrasensory and really picking up on people's emotions, very empathic, you're feeling that feeling from other people, regardless of whether you stay at home or if you're looking online or maybe you have a conversation with someone. You can feel it. It's just resonating through. And people have their ideas of what that means, what that looks like. End of world, we've talked about that. End of times, where I have suggested it's the end of unconscious living. Awakening to the extrasensory world, all of the signs, symbols, and synchronicities, and integrating our knowledge and experience and translating that into wisdom, and then taking action from that place. And yet, there's still this foreboding. More and more people coming online, speaking their truth, standing up for things that they've always stood up for, but no one's ever been listening to hear, to empower, to support, specifically women. And when you look at that model, that ideology, patriarchy, that requires conformity and compliance and power over and linear thinking and this stay inside the box to be rewarded, to be accepted, to be understood and heard, it helps you to realize why so many people struggle with seeing the inequities, the inequalities, the fact that there is life outside the box, the fact that there is more going on than what you are taught, what you are indoctrinated into. Of course, that's a challenge, because why would you want to exit something that is directly benefiting you or you feel safe within because it took you a long time to learn how you need to play your role and what you need to do in order to not be ostracized, not be subject to the indignities, the dehumanization that happens to so many people, especially anyone who isn't white or male. And the ringing in my ears has shifted in frequency and in tune, going another level deeper. And my dreams are matching this feeling of foreboding, this feeling of having exited the box of unconsciousness, the box of outsourcing your intuition, outsourcing your knowing, and exiting the box and seeing things from a much different perspective doesn't mean that everything is sunshine and roses. Of course, that still exists. Of course, there's beauty in everything, and that's the only way to survive, is to look for that, but not at the cost of ignoring the darkness, ignoring the other things that are happening that you may not want to see, because that's how you end up in boxes, is when you refuse to see everything that is happening, all of the behaviors and actions and the undercurrents, the energy that you feel, and dismissing it as though it plays no part, as though it has no role in your life, in your experience. You wouldn't have that if there wasn't a purpose, if there wasn't meaning to it. You wouldn't be tuning in or noticing it. You wouldn't be drawn to see something, or you hear something, or smell, or you sense, you feel. Someone comes to mind that you haven't thought of in forever, and all of a sudden something else attaches to it. It's taking the time to acknowledge all of it and weigh it out and decide for yourself where to place meaning and how does it support your highest good, your conscious living, your ability to move through this experience with less opposition, and not by conforming and complying less opposition, by less opposition, with trusting yourself, with believing in yourself, with knowing, with understanding, and making moves not out of fear, but out of faith that you know what you're doing and that you have enough experience to draw from, have investigated enough, have learned enough, have experienced enough, that when you make moves, they're thoughtful, they're considerate, they look at the whole picture and then move you forward. So this foreboding, this sense that we're building up to something that is going to be a massive shaking awake. And you immediately think earthquake, the big one that has been spoken about for who knows how long as I've been alive, and I know it's been projected as being hundreds of years overdue. And you have to wonder if that's not part of this box. Is there truth to it? Is there not? Are you buying into something that is meant to create this fear, to instill this way of seeing beyond what you think is the box, but really it's still within it? The answer's not the point. It's having those questions. It's being discerning. It's considering all of the things that influence the way you feel and see and believe things to be, the value you place on things. And this foreboding is a precursor. I feel like I'm being told not to go here. And that's how I felt all morning. Not to go here, not to go to the places that I would love to go in speaking about things, because it's not helpful. It just adds more fear. And again, my experiences influence everything. Thanks for watching, everyone, for being here, for commenting, sharing, liking, and subscribing, and for just getting up every day and surviving in a world that feels as though it doesn't want you to survive. And having faith and trust that whatever is coming next, you're prepared for. And that you have others to lean on and lean into as things unfold, whether you can see them or not. There's empathy and compassion out there. People helping people through very difficult times. People showing up for random strangers. Those are the people that exist, that continue to make this a worthwhile place to not only exist within, but to protect. So until next time, stay safe, stay connected, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.